under my cultural background, like when people are into a relationship, the male will always cover the bills for his girlfriend.
When people are in a relationship here, I think the guy is usually expected to pay the bill. Like it's always the male's responsibility to take care of.
In my culture, boyfriend needs to afford the bill for the dinner, and even we're not in relationship, the men's side may also take the bill for the whole table.
I think there's kind of very much this idea of like rooted in like this idea of like chivalry and like men being a gentleman and like feeling like they have to pay to show that they can like provide and that they are capable.
Because maybe because of my family background, like I think the man is always in the highest stage in a family and take care of, and taking charge of all the aspects of money, and like the woman always deal with all the family stuffs. So like, so the man should like take responsibility for all the money problems.
I think because I live in America and like I've grown up in this culture, like I'm just used to paying the bill. Like it's something that seems like normal. Like it's not something I ever questioned. It was always kind of just like guys pay the bills. That's what it's like. Now that I've kind of been exposed to the world more, I feel like it shouldn't matter. Like the guy shouldn't have to get it all the time. Like maybe it should be split. But I'm still like fine with having to pay the bill if I do, just because that's like the culture we live in.
I personally prefer to split the bill for the dinner because I think equality and respect is really important in when people are in the relationship.
I think we are equal, so I don't mind AA or like he pay for that.
It shows that like both parties are like equally invested in a relationship. Like when you're able to like kind of split up how like you pay for things in like an even, like a pretty close to even way, I think it shows, right? Like also reflects like we are both invested in this relationship, but also like we are on equal footing and there's no kind of like power balance of like, oh, only one of us is able to like pay for everything and one of us is paying for everything. That kind of like can put them like in an out of power balance.
We're both making our own money, and so I think it's only fair that we split like everything, and because sometimes like I'll pay for something or sometimes he'll pay for something, but I think like for the most part like it should be equal because we're both working really hard and we're still young and making our own money.
However, I personally felt doing this because when I was having the first dinner with my boyfriend, I want to split the bill, and he even angry with me and confused why I doing so. So he thought it is his responsibility to afford the bill for the table.
However, I do care about if we are at the beginning of our relationship. So I want to see that he would like to pay for this, because at the beginning of the relationship, I think the girl always would like to test whether the boy has a responsibility or whether he is generous to be part of this relationship. So I think paying bill can be like a test for me just at the beginning of the relationship, but like after we just get know each other better, so I don't think I really care about this.
I think definitely like when the relationship is starting out and when you're just like starting dating or just going on dates, I think it is kind of expected, but it's definitely, I know it's very different. Like even just meeting people here, different to like where I grew up. There's a lot of different opinions on this, but I would still want the guy to pay on the first date, and I think that is like a way that he can impress the girl. Definitely it changes like if you do like begin to start dating and as the time goes on, but I think in the beginning like I would be really happy if he took me out on a date, especially if he asks to go on the date. I think that's kind of when it's like if he's asking you, it's more expected that he would pay the bill.
As a man, when you met a girl and fall in love with her, you should look after her and I think covering bill is kind of showing your love to her.
If my girlfriend were to try to pay the bill,
I won't accept it.
I think I would let her, just being who I am. But deep down, like subconsciously, I'd be like, wow, you're a failure. How are you not paying for this girl? Like, how are you letting her take care of the entire thing? I think that's just because of the culture we live in. Like, that's just what would go through my mind, which is bad.
It's all basing on the stereotype that men need to afford the most of the money, and I hope people in nowadays can change their mind. Things we're also getting stronger and can raising the money by ourselves, and no longer need to depend too much on boyfriend or even husband.